not do sit-ups. No, I'm not. Y'all about to see. I don't do no sit-ups.
Seek you.
Hey y'all. So today I'm going to be talking about weight loss, specifically postpartum or kind of managing weight during pregnancy. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are looking for an easy way out, if you're looking to lose weight fast or quick, like overnight, this is not going to be the video for you. This is one of those things when you do it this way, when you do it like the right way, which I want to call it, when you do eat right, work out, push yourself, when you get on a schedule and on track, and when you become healthier, it's just a healthier lifestyle. I didn't usually call it a diet. I just called it a lifestyle. If you stick to these tips and these tricks and you really follow through with a real plan, then this is going to become a lifestyle for you. I can admit that it's not a hardcore lifestyle for me. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and tell you that we eat healthy all the time, because like now that I'm, at the weight that I want to be and I'm just healthy and I just feel good, I probably eat healthy like 40% of the time. I'm just trying to find a realistic number for you because I am still pregnant. I am not going to get on here and tell you, eat all fruits and vegetables and eat. No, baby. I wanted that cupcake yesterday, and let me tell you, I ate 3 of them. And I made some cinnamon rolls last night. I woke up in the middle of the night, I ate 2 of them. I'm pregnant. I mean, this is what, being a pregnant woman, you have cravings, and don't hold back, like you have those cravings for a reason. So you don't have to splurge. I'm not telling you to over splurge or just overeat. That's when you start seeing, the pounds pack on while you're pregnant. But if you can do everything in moderation, then I promise you, I still had the best pregnancy ever with Eva. Even now, I do try to watch what I eat as far as how much I eat, but I do not starve myself. I mean, I definitely have those hot wings when I want them. Yes, hot wings. Like, I've never liked anything spicy in my life. In this pregnancy, I'm like, this must be like a boy thing, because I love spicy foods. And let me tell you, anything with ranch, sorry, I know this is trying to be a healthy video, but anyways, back to the health. I just want to be real with y'all, and I want to tell you exactly what I did to lose. I lost about 25 to 30 pounds after having Eva, and even now being pregnant with Branch, I am 20 weeks pregnant tomorrow, and I've only gained 5 pounds. It's not something that I'm psycho about, but it is something that I like to watch my weight. I like to watch, what I'm eating for the most part, just because I want to make sure that I am giving my baby the most or the healthiest food possible, giving him the most nutrition. But like I said, I am not going to keep myself from wanting to give in to some of those cravings sometimes. So anyways, let's get into it. I have written down a couple of tips, because after I had Eva, I was very strict. With Eva, I had a natural birth, and then so with that, everything came with the healing process and all of that, and I wasn't crazy, even though I did care about, of course, she came first over everything, and then she came first. I wanted to make sure that, being a new mom, I knew exactly what I was doing. I wasn't worried about myself. I wasn't worried about the way I looked. Once we kind of got into a routine and those first couple of weeks passed, I realized, like, I'm kind of getting the hang of this. So then after about the 5th or 6th week, I kind of realized, like, okay, well, it's coming up on my appointment when you're supposed to go to the doctor and you get cleared for everything. So maybe now that everything is okay with her, and we're, we got a good thing going at home where, you kind of get on a new routine, schedules and everything like that. Now I guess I can focus on me a little bit. You have to focus on you. Do not think that is, because that saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, is so true. And not even that. Your mental health is well as your physical health and everything like that is so important too. Do not let people, I have so many people that ask me for advice, oh, how did you do this or how did you do this, like losing the weight after. And it's like almost in the beginning, they're kind of scared to ask me, like they don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to seem selfish. And I'm always like, girlfriend, no. Like you have to be in the right mindset, and because your kids do not want, I saw this on Facebook the other day. I'm not even gonna pretend like I made this up because it's been something that I just love. It keeps ringing back and forth in my head. Your kids do not want a perfect mom. They want a happy mom. So you have to do what you need to do in order to be your best, feel your best, and be the best for your kids. Okay, of course, them and their needs and your husband and his needs always need to come first, but do not forget about that you time, because that is so important. It is so important to still care about yourself, and do not let people make you feel bad about that, because you still matter. The way that you feel definitely matters. And I know that a lot of people can't help it. They get into postpartum depression. I will admit I didn't really fall into a pit of postpartum depression, but I definitely felt it coming on. But through taking care of myself and working out and eating better, I definitely knocked that thing right out. I mean, it was something that it didn't even become an issue. It was just, I just started feeling down, and I knew exactly what was happening. And even like, I completely left my job, and then I stayed home with Eva. So it was definitely a new life change, and I was always wondering, did I make the right decision? Is this what's right or best for me, for my child, for our family? And but I came to realize that yes, it was. And once I got into that mindset of I'm gonna rock this thing, I'm gonna be the best mom that I can be, I'm gonna do everything that she needs, and then I just make sure that our house is just always a place of comfort. My husband, he goes to work all day since I stay home with her, and I do, I have real estate and stuff on the side, but it's me and her all day. But I still try to keep everything up, and it's just such a balance. You have to find that balance. If you can't find that balance of, keeping everything together, we just got really into the routine of, I've started really cooking again, and now trying to juggle, I have a toddler running around trying to cook and make sure that when Matt gets home that, this is just a place of comfort that he likes to come to, trying to keep the house clean. It's definitely a full-time job. Props to all stay-at-home moms. I only have one, and I have one in the oven, and let me tell you, it's been crazy. Like, I just keep thinking like, okay, let me breathe. People do this all the time. My mom had 4 kids. And I just think like, okay, there's people that have like 10 kids. Like, I definitely don't want that many, but it's something I just keep reminding myself, like, I am a woman. This is something that I was made to do. We were made to be moms. We were made to just be rock stars at this. And so you will do it. You can do it. You just have to have the right schedule, have the right mindset, and find that balance. And once you find that balance, I'm serious, like, you are just going to be so much happier with yourself, with your family, with your lifestyle, and you can be the best mom that you can be. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the goods. I will admit, it was so hard just being, my whole life, I was an athlete. I've always been in shape. I've always been able to keep up with my weight. I won't lie, there was like a couple months after I graduated, well, my senior year of high school to a couple months after I graduated, when I was the heaviest that I've ever been, and I can even remember like how uncomfortable, and even people who know me, they might even think back and be like, you weren't heavy, but to me, especially just being thin my whole life, and that was something that I really struggled with. But then after I met Matt, and he was into the whole working out thing, and then it was really when, when we got engaged and I had the big wedding come up. We had a 10-month engagement, so that was the first time ever in my life that I didn't have to. I wanted to lose the weight, the extra pounds that I was carrying on. Even though I didn't go to college, I always call it my freshman 15, because that's literally what it was. I had about 15 to 20 pounds that I had to lose. And at that time, I did a lot of these same things, but that was mostly stress and, just the stress of planning a wedding. I know that any fellow brides, y'all know what I'm talking about, but it wasn't as strict as this. Like after I had Eva, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna make this plan for myself. I'm gonna do it every single day. And even now, like I'm trying to get this video in really quick because I try to film while she's sleeping because she just laid down for her nap. But yeah, so this is another thing of balance. I had to figure out, like, I knew I wanted to do this thing. I wanted to start sharing our stories and tips and tricks and how we do things with the world. And so I'm trying to think, like, being a stay-at-home mom, I can't film with Eva running around in the background. But this has been perfect for me, just really basing my film time around when she's sleeping. So anytime I'm on here, y'all don't worry, unless sometimes she'll be in the background watching TV and y'all hear her singing because she, anyways, that girl, crazy. So fun. I love this stage. She's so fun. But anyways, yes, right now she's napping, so I have to hurry up and give y'all the goods. All right, so disclaimer. I need to just put this in this video because I want to make sure that you know I am not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trainer. I am just a regular mom. I'm a regular person. I'm sharing with you what worked for me, what's worked for so many people that I know. This has actually worked for me twice now on 2 different occasions when I wanted to lose weight. The first time being when we were planning our wedding, and the second time is when I had Eva, and then now just being pregnant again, just managing weight, and I just wanted to share these tips with y'all. But like I said, I'm not at all a professional. The first thing that you need to do before you do any of these things postpartum, you have got to get that approval from your doctor. And even if any of these tips that I'm sharing with you, if you want to ask about doing them first, these are just things that I did that worked for me. I got complete approval from my doctor before doing any of these things. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there at first. So just be smart about doing this, be logical, set real goals for yourself, because if you set these crazy goals like, oh my gosh, I just had my baby in May and I'm gonna be looking like a bikini model over the summer for June and July, honey, no. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was working hard after I was able to be out, after I was able to get back into the gym and everything with Eva. I was working hard, sweating every single day, and it still took me, because it's not even just losing that weight. Your body itself has to heal. It has to bounce back, I guess you can say. But even you could try to do 100,000 sit-ups a day, and which I do not do sit-ups. No, I'm not. Y'all about to see, I don't do no sit-ups. But anyways, you could be doing them a day, and it's just your stomach. It has to naturally go back. And you will see, it is so amazing what us as women, the way that God designed us, it will naturally just, it's crazy. You'll see this, the elasticity of your skin and how it can be stretched to its limit, and then it just goes back. I mean, it doesn't go back completely flat or anything. I even still have a pooch. You had a baby. You birthed a human. Do not forget that. You brought a human into this world. Do you know all that crazy stuff that was happening in that stomach? Okay, you need to just give yourself a little bit of a break, okay? You are not, there's things that you can do to have that amazing, like, model stomach, or, the supermodel stomach looking like a supermodel in a bikini, anything like that. But honey, you had a human, especially if you have multiple of them. And I can give y'all this video now, but let's see what I'm looking like after I do all this again with Branch. It's not gonna look the same as it did with Eva, because I'm going through all of this again. Stretching my stomach, stretching everything to its limit, and then trying to bring it back. That is a hard process, and not everybody is the same. So that is something that you need to understand. Even if this isn't for you for postpartum, even if you've had your babies and like you're still carrying this weight 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever years, you are a mom. The amazing things that you have done, it is so incredible what your body has done. Do not let this world, and do not let social media and everything make you feel bad for the way that you look, because honey, you cannot look at those models that have not had babies, or even the ones that have, because the first thing that I'm about to tell you is not everybody is the same. It is all about genetics, and that is going to be the first thing that I'm sharing with you, genetics. Because the way that I am, after I had Eva, it was easier for me, and not just genetics, but because my body was so used to all those years of training, and like I said, I just been an athlete for most of my life, and my body knows what to do. Your body is such an amazing thing. I mean, here we have these temples. Your body seriously is an amazing temple. It knows what to do. Your body was made to do these things. So it's going to go back to what it knows. It's gonna do what it knows. So if you do your part, it's gonna do its part, which means eating healthy, exercising, doing everything right. If you completely overindulge, if you don't take care of yourself, then your body's gonna do what it knows. It's gonna pack on those pounds. It's gonna store that fat. But if you take care of yourself, you will be so amazed to see what that body that was pushed to its limit could also do. Just when you're happy and healthy, there is no better feeling. I know that they say that there's no better feeling than being skinny, and it was so funny because I remember somebody said, well, the person who said that must have never had a cupcake. Both of those are true, but really when you're happy and healthy, that is something that lasts. It's a feeling that lasts. When you're happy and healthy and you're the best that you can be, there's just nothing else like it. And when your kids see the happiness and your health, and they, kids mimic what their parents do, especially like toddlers. And I just started recently when I've been eating more fruits and vegetables lately. And now when I eat things, Eva wants to eat things because she thinks that's cool. So especially with drinks and everything, so I've been switching a lot of things to water, because if I'm drinking water, Eva wants to drink water. If I'm drinking soda, she still wants that soda. And then I can't trick her and try to give her water because she's like, I know that's not what you're drinking. But if she sees me and Matt doing it, she wants to do it. So that is another example of why us as parents, we just have to set the right example for these kids. Number one, I'm kind of getting away from this, but genetics. So I didn't really gain a lot with Eva. I did watch my weight. I did work out. My mom, my mom was a baby machine. So is my sister, and now I'm finding out so am I, because it's like we were just made to have these babies because our bodies, we carry so good. We have such great pregnancies. We deliver so well. I mean, I can say this, I've only had Eva, but it was so smooth, it was so fast, and my mom was like that with all of her kids. My sister just had her baby like 2 weeks ago. Man, she was a complete rock star, y'all. Like, I'm serious. She did not even hardly break a sweat. She had a full face of makeup. Like, she pushed through that thing, like, and then next thing I know, she's up about, running around. She's at parties that we're having that week for our family. Like, it's just so amazing how her body responded, and just that's how I am, and that's how my mom is, and it's definitely something that's genetics, and especially for bouncing back, it was easier. And you can always, just because your genetics are one way doesn't mean you have to be that way. Now, the way that you are shaped and the way that your body responds to stretch marks and all of that, I'm not sure, because my sister, my mom, they never had issues with stretch marks, so neither did I, and I still haven't, even, in this pregnancy. Like I said, I'm 20 weeks pregnant. But it's just all something that you're going to have to figure out. But that doesn't mean that if your mom and your grandma and your cousins, if they were covered with, so many stretch marks, or if they gained so much weight while pregnant, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be your problem. But I'm just saying that if that's something that is genetically in your family, if so many people do it, that is something that's going to be easier for you to do. But it doesn't mean you have to be that way. Now, I know that there's so many creams and everything that you can put on stretch marks. I'm not going to sit here and preach anything about stretch marks because I don't know. I just know that during my pregnancy, I did previous with Eva, applied certain creams and the coconut oil and all that. I don't know if that did anything. Like I said, that is something that thankfully it was genetically my mom, my nana, none of us ever had to worry about that. If you do have, if that runs in your family, then that's something that you can consult with your doctor about. I know nowadays they have so many things to get rid of stretch marks, but like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and preach about that because that's something I don't know much about. I'm just telling you, in general, genetics have so much to do with how your body's going to respond to pregnancy, how it's going to respond to postpartum. So if you see a pattern in your family, if that's not something that you want necessarily, talk to your doctor about it, or just stay on that healthy lifestyle, stay on working out when it's good for you and for baby. And that's something that you can take hold of and you can really change it. Not saying that you will completely change it, but it is something that you do not have to completely worry about everything genetically, because it is something that you have a little bit of a say in. Next, working out, of course. Like I said, make sure you get your doctor's approval, and please make realistic goals for yourself each week, okay? Don't say, okay, this month I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. No, you have to start small. Even start small as in like the first 3 or 4 days. See, like 3 or 4 days from now, I would like to see a difference in my skin from just eating better, or I'd like to see a difference in at least a half of a pound on the scale, or half a pound, that's like a week. You know what I mean? Like, you'd at least barely like to see the scale notching down, if that's something. It's not always about weight, because when you are putting on muscle weighs more than fat, but you get what I'm saying. Make realistic goals for yourself. Do things weekly. That is what I suggest. Like I said, you can do them every 3 to 4 days if you want to, but I would never go further than a week, because every single day counts. All you have to do is wake up. If you wake up and decide, I'm gonna take on this day, I'm going to make sure that this day I do not fail, then you can do it every single week, and you'll see how it's gonna get easier and easier, and you'll see how your lifestyle is gonna begin to change and just form into that healthier and happier lifestyle that you're trying to build for yourself. Next, take advantage of what you have. This means not just physically, but around your house when you're trying to work out. Myself, I know that physically, my arms have always been stronger and my legs are a little bit stronger. I do not have a very strong core. So I do things that will really benefit my arms more. Each person has something that they know. If you ask somebody, what's your favorite thing about yourself, when it becomes to your physical attributes, you should be able to tell somebody, oh, it's my arms, my legs, or whatever. Those are things that work with what you have, and don't worry about, like if you say, like right now, I did lose so much muscle mass in my legs and my butt when I gave birth and when I was pregnant with Eva. And I had such a short amount of time between Eva and now being pregnant again. I did not get to build that muscle back up. So that's something that I've been like, I wish that I had more leg muscle and da-da. But I'm not going to, being pregnant and being postpartum, I'm not gonna kill myself and be so worried about those areas. I'm not gonna stress over one area. I'm gonna work out my whole body, and over time, everything will balance itself out. And if you're doing the correct workouts, like if you're not just focusing on your arms, you're not just focusing on your legs, if you're thoroughly doing everything how you're supposed to do it, leg day, arm day, do your core one day, like stuff like that, it's going to work itself out, and you'll be amazed at what you can do with just a couple of weights and eating healthy. Another huge thing, I cannot stress this enough, I went from, and I'm gonna tell you, I definitely used the treadmill, like when it came to, I would walk like 15, 20 minutes here and there just to start off my workout. Probably in the beginning, I only would walk for about 10 minutes and then I would start a workout. But as I progressed and as my body got stronger and stronger, I would do more and more. I'd add more time. I think the highest that I'd ever go pre-workout was like 20 minutes, just because I had a good Grey's Anatomy like binge watch that I had going, and I was watching that. But so I kind of got sucked in. I would sit there and walk, but that is something that you want to make sure that you get your treadmill time in, but do not become a, what do they call them, treadmill bunnies? I don't know. You need to have that weight training. When I started really focusing on weight training, that was when I met Matt, and he was, all in the gym all the time, and he started really teaching me about weight training. My body completely transformed from what it used to be. I mean, when I was trying to lose that weight before our wedding, because muscle burns more than fat. So even when you're doing that weight training and when your muscles trying to build back up, that is something that is happening even while you sleep. I mean, your muscles are rebuilding themselves and you're losing weight and burning calories even while you sleep. So it is so much better than just trying to go out there every day and kill yourself on the treadmill or try to do this and that. Weight training, and it's such a myth that people are going to, oh, women are going to be bulky, da da da. No, I will insert a couple pictures because, mama don't look like that now, but I'll try to insert a couple pictures in here of when I was like at my prime, when I was weight training, and it wasn't like I was trying to compete. I wasn't like doing it for competitions or anything. It was just, I was so happy and content with that new lifestyle that I had found, and I wasn't even killing myself in the gym. I had gotten to a routine, an easy routine, and I stuck with it. And I'll share some pictures with y'all of what it was like. You will see such a difference faster than when you would try to be, running on the treadmill constantly. But I'm not saying don't run on the treadmill or walk fast on the treadmill. That's what I do. But those two things combined, you will be amazed at the results that you would see along with healthier eating. Also, meal prep. I know that as a new mom, it was so much easier for me to do my meal prepping all in one day, and then I'd have it during the week, especially being home with Eva. That was just in general, whether it was healthy food or not, prepping anything and having it where I could just go grab it out of the fridge, that was so much better for me. And then once I really, when I hit my 6-week mark and I got approved by the doctor to start working out, that was something that I was so happy I was able to do. Is I could cook up all these healthy meals. I went on Pinterest, I went on Google, anything that you need to do, find those healthy meals. I'm gonna insert some pictures in here and show you some of the meals that I prepared. Those were some of my favorite meals. And then I just got so much off of Pinterest, and all you have to do is take out one day of your week. Sundays are usually better for everybody, and that's when I completely meal prepped all day long, put them in my little containers, put them in the fridge or in the freezer, and I had them all week. And that was so much better for our healthy eating. That was so much better for my diet and my new lifestyle, because that was easy for me to just grab those things. And then I wasn't sitting there, I wasn't going out, I wasn't going through a drive-through, and I knew I had that food in there, so I knew I had to eat it. So it made it so much better to stick to my goals when I had that meal prep and when I had that food in there. You want your healthy recipes and water. Of course, you hear this all the time, but drink as much water as you can. It does not necessarily have to be straight water. Like, I love, and I know that some people hate them, but I love the LaCroix, I think that's how you say it, waters, where it's like the soda water, but so good. That was when you're on a diet, and I don't care if you hate them things or not, when you're on a diet, those things seem like heaven in a can, let me tell you right now, because I loved those things. It was so much better. Like I said, y'all, I never was trying, I was not shorting myself out when it came to, eating the desserts that I wanted, the fatty foods that I wanted, anything like that. But everything that I did was a balance. And I found out exactly, in order to lose the weight that I wanted to lose, how many calories I had to lose, or how many calories I had to take in a day. And it was just all about the calories. It was all about the eating healthy and working out, sticking to a routine, and that's what worked for me. And even just the water, I tried to do a lot of detoxes when I did like the lemon water and everything like that. I did find that lemon water was my favorite. I didn't really like any of the cucumber stuff, but that was something that was like a good detox. I tried to do that like once a week. And next, if you are postpartum, if you're watching this because you just had your baby and you're looking to lose those extra pounds, breastfeeding was my best friend. oh my gosh. I think I only did it with Eva for like 2 or 3 months, but it was so amazing because breastfeeding was so, it helped me. Breastfeeding alone, I dropped like 5 to 10 pounds because with the healthy eating and with the working out and then the breastfeeding, and that's another thing too, if you are breastfeeding, make sure that you are supplying yourself with enough healthy foods, enough food in general, just to make sure that you are getting those calories back in a healthy way. And just always taking into consideration whatever you are taking in, baby is taking in as well. And if baby does have any kind of reactions, you know, it might be something that you're eating. So just always keep in mind that whatever you're eating when you're breastfeeding, your baby's eating that as well. I've never been like a big drinker or anything like that, but I just completely cut out alcohol, and especially because I was breastfeeding, and I don't really know much about that. You know, people say don't drink, which it totally makes sense. Why would you drink while you're breastfeeding? But I never had the issue. You know, I would have drinks here and there, like casually when we go out, but I'm not like I don't come home and, you know, have a glass of wine or nothing, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But just for me, that was never something that I wanted to do. So it wasn't something I had to feed off of, but if you need to, alcohol is huge. Just losing in weight in general, you will see such a difference when you drop the alcohol. I mean, dropping the alcohol, if you drink it, you know, on a regular basis, you could see a 5 to 10 pound drop just in a month. Like it's insane. The last tip that I have for y'all, I really want to highlight the treadmill. Like I said, that was something that I did when this mixed with weight training. Do not just do the treadmill, like I said earlier. But the treadmill in itself was something that it was kind of like my me time. And I did that when I did all of my working out and all my food prep and everything. I tried to do that when Eva was sleeping. And so the treadmill, that was like when I got a good show that I wanted to watch on Netflix. I was able to just put it up there on my phone and I would just walk. You do not have to run on the treadmill, y'all. Just do different intervals, you know, when you do just up your incline or anything like that. That will help you, but you do not have to be on there running. You do not have to be pushing yourself super hard. Just stay consistent and get into a routine, and you will start to see the weight fall off. I promise you, y'all. This is how I think I'm gonna try to put in as many pictures as I can just throughout this video to show you my progress. But I think when I was finally where I wanted to be, it was about 5 or 6 months postpartum. Because I did have those first 2 months where it was just kind of like a healing period for me. I'm not gonna lie, I was totally not eating my healthiest because the last couple months of being pregnant with Eva, I couldn't really eat a lot. It was like she was just pushing up on everything. So I was definitely splurging after she came. But then once I did get into that whole, you know, I set in my mind, I knew exactly how much I wanted to lose. I knew not exactly what I wanted my body to look like because I had no idea now that, like I said, I had just birthed this human. So I did not know what my body was going to look like. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know, you know, if everything would be in the same place, and it was not, okay? And that's fine. I have this beautiful daughter. I have a handsome little son on the way who I hope looks just like his daddy, but I made those beautiful and amazing children. I mean, I don't care if I have a few pounds in different places, or I don't care if, you know, my weight has managed to shift itself in other directions. I don't care. As long as I'm happy, as long as I'm healthy, and my family, kids, husband, as long as they're happy and healthy, that's all that matters, okay? You have got to stop being so hard on yourself. Like I said before, everything that you see online, those are just images. I promise you, those people don't even look like that in real life. And I'm not saying there's not people that look like those models and those whatevers in real life, but you are not those people. You are you. You have to do what's best for you, what's best for your body, what's best for your family and your kids. Just keep into consideration that you do not have to be perfect. You are a mom, honey. People do not expect you to be perfect. Do not put yourself up on this pedestal, because when you do that, you are definitely going to set yourself up for failure. You have got to be a little bit more lenient on yourself. You've got to give yourself a little bit of credit. I mean, you have built this amazing family. all because of you. You created these children, and you just have to remember that it is not about being perfect. It is not about looking perfect. It is about being happy with yourself, who you are mentally, physically, and it's just about being the best you can be for your family and living your best life. So those are just the tips that I wanted to share with y'all, and I know this video is super long, but that's just what I wanted to tell you. I've tried to make this video so many times, and oh my gosh, y'all, my brother's going by on our tractor right now. The perks of living in the compound. But I've tried to make this video so many times, and I did not know what to say. And now that I've had a little bit more confidence of doing videos and trying to update each week, and things that I see online when I see moms being so hard on themselves, I just really hope that this helped you. I hope that it really kind of opened your eyes up to what you should be doing rather than what you think you should be doing. Because like I said, social media has put it's put women especially just on such a high pedestal that we think we have to be this perfect image of, grace. And no, honey, we are moms. Like, we are going to do what we need to do for our families, but we're going to do what we need to do to get it done and get it done right. And if you have anything specifically that you did when you were pregnant or postpartum or just in general trying to lose weight, please leave those in the comments as well, because I want this to be a safe place. I want this to be somewhere that women can come to and just talk about themselves and talk about their insecurities, because like I said, your family and your kids are so important, but you are important too, because if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Just let me know what you think below, and I hope that y'all have a great rest of your week, and I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.